Hi everybody, this is Hannah and this will be my first week of actual content. Let's get into it. I'm at my parents' house and I've decided that I wanted to go through all of my really old writings just to kind of show you who I was as a writer as a kid. I found a whole bunch of old notebooks and folders and we're going to kind of go through them and see how bad they are. I don't really remember everything that I wrote. I have a good idea, but I'm kind of excited to just read through them and show you guys what I did as I was a kid. Okay, let's get started. The first story I genuinely remember writing, I don't have a physical copy of it. I do know it was about a cat, and I don't know anything about the story that I wrote, but I do remember the 3 hole punches. I wanted it to look like a book. So I tied yarn around the 3 hole punches to make it flip and fold like a book. So I think that was my first true masterpiece. This is great. I'm a little bit older. I'd say, I have no idea how old I was for these. So one of my first stories was all about, I think it was just a whole bunch of princesses. One of my first characters, okay, so this is Doreen the Mermaid. We have my cute little handwriting up there. My sister was really into drawing, so I think that's what got me into drawing all my characters. Don't really do that now, I just kind of use Pinterest. Highly recommend, go follow me. And then I have Doreen's mom, her dad, and her teenage sister all drawn out with her. I have Rachel, and I very much remember her being the tomboy princess, but I had a really hard time trying to draw ponytails. And to be honest, I still do. Vanessa was the main princess, because she's just a princess. She's boring. We got her family. We have Jessica the vampire. What a ride or die friendship we've got here. We have Sarah the fairy. Check out that loopy S. That's pretty great. So the story was best friends. I don't know if you can read all that colored pencil, but I had my author name as Hannah M. Duncan even when I was 6. I guess I've always known I was going to try and be an author. It was in the cards from the very beginning. Let's read a little snippet of chapter 1. It's all written in pencil. Some of it is in colored pencil. Like this. This was paper that I used at school and they kind of taught you how big your letters were supposed to be. Chapter 1, the beginning of friendship. Once upon a time, classic, there was a girl named Vanessa. She is a princess. Okay, I already switched tenses, that's great. You know, ... Her mom the queen, her dad the king, her sister the older princess. Okay, already got some good sass in there, sounds like me. Well, that's her life. Her parents let Vanessa's sister have a royal ball. Vanessa is 13 years old, and it's time for her royal ball. She invited many friends, but only the main ones. Vanessa's 4 main friends' names are, and she goes into those names, they all met under the chandelier. Alright, good setting. But they all became best friends after the royal ball. Then Rachel asked, hey, got some nice dialogue, but it is jammed in the single paragraph. Hey, how about you guys come to my castle next week? My spelling's actually pretty bomb. I'm impressed. The 5 of them thought that is a great idea. How many princesses are there? So here are all their pets I think I get into. Apparently there was a war between the fairies and the pixies. And so our dad died. Killing off characters since I was 6. Yeah, great. All the older sisters are mean. That tells you a little something about my childhood. This is my first thought out chapters. So that is the beginning of Hannah M. Duncan with the best friends story. So I wrote a chapter book in 3rd grade, and each chapter was, I think, a half a page. But I remember specifically her name was Sierra the Mermaid, but I do remember taking it to my class in 3rd grade and showing my teachers, being like, hey, I wrote a book, and they're like, wow, good for you. And then the only part I remember is she had an older brother, and Sierra the Mermaid went out, and she was late, she came home late. Let's see, it was her mom and her older brother were waiting for her, and her mom was super chill, like, hey, you probably shouldn't do that again. But it was her brother, and I thought it was hilarious because I put curlers in his hair for underwater. And he was livid. He had curlers. He's like, "Don't you do that again, young lady." And I thought it was hysterical, so I was in a French class. They made us take French for like 7 years in my private school that I went to, but like I didn't learn a thing. I switched to Spanish immediately in high school. So we were to write a comic book in French, I'm pretty sure. So I knew that they spoke French in Sweden, so I decided to make a comic book about Swedish supermodels in French. No, Swedish superhero supermodels. Yeah, that's definitely coming back. I have no idea what it means anymore. Something, look at the super Swedes, they save the day with the cat. This is a super Swede, I'm pretty sure is what it says. So, classic. I love that they're basically all flexing. That's pretty great, and they all have the same hair. So, yeah. Pretty proud of that. So we're gonna read, a little snippet of that. So I've always been a plotter, not necessarily a pantser. So here's a whole bunch of like plot ideas that I had in my head. Here are all the character ideas. Oh, we're gonna read a really intense part. A sensation of heat flowed through my body. It wasn't an intense heat, more of a warming feeling. This whole fire thing was new to me. Oh yeah, my main girl was the fire element person. I had no idea what to do with it or what I could do with it. I raised my hand a little higher and focused on the orb of fire. The icy cold water didn't feel like knives like in movies. Okay. It burnt my skin. I can usually feel the warmth from inside, the light from the heat. There was none of that. Only the incredible burning pain and the cold and emptiness from inside. My light had gone out. There's some good angst in there. My handwriting looks pretty dang good, so I'd say that's a win. I had a difficult time with her character because she was fire, and so I'm like, how does she take a shower? So I had a really hard time with that, and so I decided to like make it so she almost passed out every time she took a shower. It started off where she was in a group of just like orphan kids, and they were looking out for each other, and then she started having a thing for this guy named Dean, which I thought was really cool, because I'm pretty sure I took that from Wizards of Waverly Place. But that's okay. Stealing things and making them your own is an art form. Honestly, that was kind of the last longer piece that I wrote, and then I wrote an entire book in high school. I'm not going to get into that today. I'm going to spend a whole other video just kind of talking about reasons why I don't like that book anymore, maybe things that I still like about it and I want to keep using. Alright, that's what I have for you guys today. Thank you for watching, and I'm hoping to see you guys next week. Thanks!